Hi, my name is John. Welcome to another Wednesday catch-up video. In today's video I'm going to show you 2 more episodes of this Stuart Turner engine restoration. I think we left it last week where I managed to smash the little bronze governor fork, and we'll get that repaired and get some more bits and pieces sorted out. At the very end of the video there's some random clips of me welding Fowler traction engine tyres on, or doing some repairs on the welds that are already there. Obviously I didn't take the film because I'm doing the welding. It just happened to be on the same bit of video, the same folder, so I've just left it in. This is the bronze fork off the governor that I managed to break last week. The brake is a really good fit. I've put them together into a really nice tight fit together. It actually locks into itself. I'm going to try and put a little tack of silicon bronze on the corner. If it welds well, I'll V it out and weld it. Otherwise, I'll silver solder it. It's lined up nice there. The fork's in line. Everything looks good. So a little tack on there, and then we'll go from there. Right, that really is quality material. It's taken that no problem at all. So what we'll do, we'll tack all 4 corners, and then we'll have a bit grinded it and run some metal into it. A little bit more power into that, I think. It's actually trying to pull itself over to one side. Right, that is actually welding gorgeous, that. I'm putting a good 110 amps in to get that to melt. So we've got a really good weld there, so I can fade this out a bit and get some penetration into it. I'm welding this on straight DC, nothing fancy at all. Really keen material. A little bit like welding aluminium. Really nice, shiny, bright, cool. A little bit of crap floating to the top, but nothing to worry about. really penetrating into there. I'm putting some big amperage into it. I'll let it cool and cut back into it so I can get some more welding to it. Right, I'm really happy with that repair. It went together quite nicely. That's going to give no problems at all. Just annoying that I actually broke it in the first. I managed to get the governor housing on now and the fork actually touching that thrust washer, so all that should work fine. I'm going to turn my attention to this part here. This is a little sight glass that my friend Rob reconditioned for us. That's the oil pump that supplies the oil at high pressure into the steam line. I'm going to take this off and get a close-up shot of it. Inside of here there's a glass, a sight glass, and inside of the sight glass is a very thin wire. Now I've been told that the glass should be filled with water, and as the oil comes up you can watch the droplets of oil travelling up the wire. That's what it's for. I'll get a close-up shot so you can see the wire, and then I'm going to try and get some water into it. I've already had it apart and tried to pour water in, totally unsuccessful. So I'm going to try and use my boiler water feed pump or my boiler pressure test pump to pump some water into there. Right, hopefully you can see the black line running down the centre there. That's actually a little bit of thin wire that goes in the port at the bottom. So I'll try and find a unit to fit onto here and see if I can force fill this with water, and then we can run the engine on compressed air and see if we can actually see it working. Right, the thread's on there, that 8th BSP, that fits onto there, and that's an 8th BSP to a 1/4 BSP adapter, which will fit into me test pump. Right, it's coupled up to the feed pump, and you can see the little fine wire in there. I'll try pumping some water through it. We've got a little bit of a leak there because it's a taper fitting and I haven't got any tape on it. It's just got to overcome the resistance of the one-way valve in there. Not much happening here. Right, there is water going in there. Unfortunately the water's cloudy because it's a bastard. Right, I'll have to try and seal these pipe joints that are pissing water out. No good at all that. Right, I think we've stopped all the leaks now. I'll pump some water through so the water starts to run clear, which it's doing there. That's taking 100 psi to get the water up past the check valve. So now we've got clear water inside the glass, and we can indeed see the little needle. So if I put this onto the engine now and run it, hopefully I'm going to be able to see the oil bubbles going up there. We'll screw the pump back into place. That port there is actually full of oil. because it would stop at one side, wouldn't it? Right, see the side glass there. I'll start the engine up and bring the camera in a little bit closer, and then hopefully you can see what goes on. This is special oil formulated for superheated steam. Real thick, sticky stuff it is, lovely. Right, a little bit of oil through the inlet port, used to lubricate the piston and the valves. It's very, very slow feel on the pump. It'll take a while for it to start to pump oil. There's oil circulating on the engine because there's oil in there. That's the main crankcase oil pressure. That's just dripping onto the oil pump here. See, there's oil coming out of the exhaust port on the engine. Right, it's starting to pump oil because we've got water coming out of there. It'll pump the water out. It's actually on top of here until that first drop of oil comes up, and the oil will be above the water because the oil floats on water. This will take a while, but it is lifting. Definitely lifting oil. I think there you can see the oil is actually holding onto the needle. Right, that's definitely oil going up there, you can see it rising up. That's the technology. It's so old, but it so works, it's wonderful. I think it's wonderful. So that's the oil inside the water holding onto that needle. So you can look at it and see. Once again, it's just time to say thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And yes, I'm going to keep on banging on about mental health and physical health and well-being for as long as I'm capable of doing it, because I've been asked to keep banging on about mental health. It is vitally important that you look after yourself and you get the care and help that's needed. This prostate cancer is becoming more and more prevalent, especially in guys my sort of age. You need to go to doctors, you need to get tested. Simple as that. Anyway, I'll see you on the next one.